August is National Wellness Month, and I recently spoke with licensed therapist Sierra Hillsman for tips on practicing self-care all year round. Take a look. Thank you so much for joining us again, Sierra. So in honor of National Wellness Month, we wanted to talk to you about the importance of what everybody is talking about these days, I feel like, the need for self-care. Now, you say that the mind and the body work together. How so?
Yes, definitely. Oftentimes when we think about wellness, we're always trying to separate the mind from the body. And we have to realize that our emotions, our feelings, they actually do show up in the body. So anytime you're feeling some type of stress, you usually see it in headaches or maybe even shoulder pain, maybe even cramps or nausea. So those are some ways that we can utilize or be mindful of how our emotions show up in the body. And then also our body lets us know, like, hey, these are some things that we need to tend to. Let's take a moment for self-care. That way we can be able to live a full, authentic life.
Oh, I love that. But self-care seems like it would look different for everyone. So how would you kind of classify it or define it, if you could?
Yes. So I would define self-care as something that reminds us to take care of our well-being. So whether it's getting a manicure or pedicure, but also some of the things that we tend to overlook, maybe paying your bills on time, or maybe even taking time to just sit down and deep breathe, even if you can't get away from your stressor in that moment, or maybe even finding ways to fold your laundry. That way, when you get back to your room, that's one less task to do on your list. So making sure that you are doing the things that will help you have a less stressful life.
Yes, I love that you're mentioning there's so many different varieties and facets to self-care, because I know, for one, like, I love a massage, but my mom can't relax during a massage. So for her, it's probably something that's, there she can do to pay those bills on time and feel like she's getting ahead. So I love that. And you mentioned breathing. So let's start with how we breathe.
Yes, so we are filling our lungs to the fullest capacity, not to the point where we're getting dizzy or lightheaded, and then we are exhaling longer. Sometimes I like to do maybe a good inhale of 5 seconds and an exhale for 7 seconds slowly, and releasing that energy out, as well as being mindful of your rate of breathing throughout that process.
Summertime, we're relaxing. Now we're back to school, and I don't know about the other moms and dads listening, but it's been a stressful 2 weeks. So what are some grounding techniques that we can use when we do encounter that really stressful situation?
Yes, the first one that comes to mind is the 5 for 5. We are literally taking our 5 senses, seeing, taste, touch, smell, hearing, and we're identifying 5 things in the room. And the reason why that's important is because it helps us to get our mind off of, or temporarily off of, the stressor at hand. We are leveraging our 5 senses, which connects our body to what's going on in the room. So the 5 for 5. The other thing is deep breathing. And then another thing, body scanning, going quickly over your body from top to bottom and seeing how those emotions show up in the body. If you're feeling some tension in the shoulders, what are some ways that you can tap into that body for some quick relaxation? Like you mentioned, we can't just get up and go get a massage sometimes. So maybe, do I need to grab a heating pad really quickly? Do I need to turn on YouTube and find a channel that allows me to do some yoga at my desk? Or do I need to take a walk around the block? What are some things that help me to meet my needs in this present moment?
Your last tip is something I think so many of us struggle with, and you say that is keeping boundaries is so important to our mindful health. But how do we do that? Quick suggestions.
Yes, number one is identifying your needs. When we're talking about boundaries, we have to do a quick needs assessment. What do I need in this very moment, and what resources can I tap into in order for me to get those needs met? And also, when we are establishing and maintaining boundaries, identifying the messaging behind that boundaries. What is the intent behind the boundary, and what message am I trying to convey? Especially when we're talking about communication, it's not only what we say, but who we say it to, in what context, and the words that we're using to convey that messaging. So that's how we can address our boundaries.
Fantastic tips and advice. Thank you so much for your time. We so appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.